Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are going to be doing the look that you've seen featured on my Instagram lately. It is a very deep smoky halo eye featuring the Fenty Killawatt highlighter. So let's get right into it. The first step is to prime your eyes, so use any eye primer. I'm using the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer because it dries down to a matte finish, but it also has a lot of coverage, so it'll block out any discoloration in my lid. And then make sure you set your primer with any clear powder or the lightest color in your palette. I'm using the Kat Von D Lock-It. And then going in with Weekender from the Urban Decay Born to Run to just kind of map out the crease, creating that shadow. I like to create my eyeshadow in a little bit of an upward turned motion, like shape towards my brow, so it lifts my eye up a little bit. And then we're just taking that same brush and a little bit of Still Shot, which is a nice peachy pink, and running that through the crease. And now taking Riff, which is a little bit of a deeper camel tone brown, and buffing that in the exact same area, but starting a little bit closer to the lower lash line to deepen that area up. So once you have created your initial drop shadow for your look and have contoured your eye, go in with any bright pink and orange combo. I'm using the really deep plum in the orange Baja shade from the Born to Run palette on a Morphe M422. And I'm focusing this on the outer and inner corners. Because this is a halo eye, I don't necessarily need this color all over the lid, so I'm building that saturation in both the outer and inner corner. And then I'll take a little bit of those two shades just all over the lid, just so that blends in a little bit more with the colors that we'll follow with next. And afterwards we're going to take Good Is Gone, which is a deep dark brown with a very neutral undertone. It's not cool or warm, and I'm focusing this on the inner and outer corners near the lash line again to really further enforce that halo eye shape. And then running a little bit right into the actual crease to deepen that up. Then buff that out with the same blending brush. I didn't pick up any additional product. And then following that, we're going to start laying down our bright metallics and our feature colors. So I'm taking I think this is Sangria Sunset from the Killawatt highlighter from Fenty. And I'm using a MAC 244 flat shading brush to put that all over the entire lid and really build that opacity. I did spritz my brush with a setting spray. I didn't do that on camera, but after you've gotten that pink how bright you would like it, add the Sangria Sunrise right on the middle of the eye. Basically the same width as your iris. Don't make it any wider because then it'll look a little weird. And focus that color really, really heavily towards the lash line. And then I'm going to take whatever's left on my brush of the pink and just soften the edges so the two blend together. To deepen up that inner and outer corner to really make that halo eye shape, I'm taking Good Is Gone again on a MAC 182 small shading brush and putting that at the outer and inner corners close to the lash line. And this palette, the black has slight sheen to it, so I'm taking Noir from Anastasia on the same brush and really making sure that those inner and outer corners are truly black. Now for that really bright inner or middle spot highlight, I'm taking Nars Orgasm Loose Illuminating Powder, and I'm packing that right in the middle of Mimosa Sunrise, making sure that we still see some of the orange around it before going in with the Makeup Forever Starlit Liquid in the shade number 3 and popping that just in the middle of the Nars Orgasm so we get that really, really bright wet look. So we're going to take a break from the eyes and start on the face. I already primed and moisturized prior. And then for my complexion, I'm going to mix the LaLa Retro from Drunk Elephant with 1 pump of the Smashbox Studio Skin, and I believe 3.2. And then I'm going to set my entire face using the Kat Von D Lock-It. You guys know I do not wear concealer. I don't really do a lot of coverage with foundation, so this focus is really on the eyes. So with this powder, I'm just making sure that my skin is matte and doesn't have a wet texture before we go in with bronzer. I'm sure you guys have had that moment where your bronzer just sticks to your face because your face wasn't properly set. This doesn't mean use a copious amount of powder, but just make sure it's not tacky. And for bronzer today, I am using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. I'm probably a little bit too tan for this color right now. It's not showing up, but take any bronzer you like and bronze up around the perimeter of your face. And then sculpt out your cheekbones or whatever you want to define using this Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Duo that I don't ever recommend substituting. It's the best contour powder in the world. So yeah, enough said. And I'm just going to hollow out the rest of my cheekbones before we move on to the brows. And for brows, of course, we're using the IT Cosmetics Brow Power. You guys know this is my favorite brow pencil. It is so fast, so easy, one universal shade. You don't have to memorize what color. The peptides help your brow hairs grow, and then, of course, when one is purchased, one is donated to look good, feel good. So it is just an awesome pencil to purchase and use. And I'm just lightly filling in my brows. I've been pretty good about grooming them, so filling them in has been taking me no more than like 30 seconds per brow. And I'm just really making sure that the top and bottom are straight and not too much of an arch, but create whatever shape you like. I personally prefer straighter brows on my face shape. And then after that, brush out with your spoolie to make sure everything is blended. And that's your kind of way to fix your mistakes. If you guys draw too heavily, your spoolie is your friend. And lastly, to make sure all of that hard work doesn't go anywhere, we're going to take the Kush Brow Gel from Milk, and I believe this is the shade Grind. It's the darkest one. Yeah, Dutch is the middle one. So this is Grind, and I'm just combing through to fill in any gaps. This has pigment and fibers in it, and then it will also set because it's a gel. Time to add a little bit of a glow. I'm taking the Sephora Collection Illuminating Palette. It's actually my favorite highlight palette, and it's very affordable. It's only 20 bucks, and I'm taking the middle two shades, the gold and the bronze, and mixing them together and highlighting where I normally would, right at the top of the cheekbones on both sides, on the Cupid's bow, and then we will contour my nose. I've actually started contouring first and then highlighting after. I found it makes it a little bit of a skinnier line, and then I don't have to be as careful with the contour. But you guys know the drill for nose contour. I'm not going to go too in-depth here. Just do the bottom, sides, whatever shape you're trying to achieve with your nose, just do it lightly. I say lightly as I'm literally drawing gray stripes down my face, but you guys know how it is when you're filming. Can't see anything in the viewfinder, so we always overcompensate. But after I've done the shading, I'm going to highlight the nostril tip and bridge of my nose to really extenuate that, or create rather, that pointed, thin bridge nose that I don't have, but contouring's magic. And now we're just going to finish up on the eyes. Really, for this step, just map out or mimic the shades you used in your crease and lid on the lower lash line. That's why I'm not showing what colors I'm using in the palette, because it's literally just the same colors. So I'm taking the light pink and the orange shade and running that under, then deepening that up with a little bit of the dark brown, or I think that's a Riff. And now I'm going to go in with the dark brown on a smudging brush, but can't speak right now. And just making sure that that lash line is really, really deep, connects to the upper lid so you have that cohesion and correct shape and symmetry in the look. And then that is about it, guys. I'm going to do my mascara off camera because that actually took longer than the entire look, my mascara by itself, as it normally does. So here are some finished shots of the look. I'm absolutely in love with it. The highlighter is so easy to use, and you can use it in many different ways to achieve lots of different looks. But yeah, I'm absolutely obsessed. Of course, we're not using falsies because of the Grande Lash. Don't need it. And that is about it. I'm obsessed. I don't know how to end this video because I'm looking to make sure I wait for when the sound ends. YouTubers, you get it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I'll get more tutorials up soon. I've been really liking to get back into artistry. And yeah, until next time, bye ya.